Hello, and greetings from across the Media Multiverse. Today I am going to have a look at the Agatha Christie novel, And Then There Were None. UN Owen invites 8 people to a remote island. When the 8 people arrive, they are met by the housekeeper and the butler. And so we have our 10 characters for this story. As instructed, a record is played at dinner time where Mr. UN Owen recounts each person's crime and how they got away with it. This island is to be their retribution, and people start being killed off as outlined in a nursery rhyme. And of course, as the story progresses, we discover that UN Owen, at a stretch, is actually unknown. And by the end of the book, there's only 10 people on this remote island. There's no means for them to escape. There are no means for others to come to the island. And yet, at the end, all 10 people are dead. How? This is my favourite Agatha Christie book. There's a claustrophobic atmosphere from the very beginning, and it is relentless throughout the whole novel. Watching these strangers turn on each other as they start being murdered one by one. And, as I've said, the book ends with all 10 people dead. No one was able to arrive, no one was able to leave this desolate island. So how come? This story has actually been filmed a few times, and it can actually be set anywhere as long as the characters are isolated. For example, in 1945 it was set at a ski resort, and in 1989 at an African savannah. And I'm sure that there are other versions set elsewhere, and there will be other versions set elsewhere. It is the claustrophobia that makes this work. It's the fact that you are holed in with a killer and no means of escape. And added to that, others think that you too are the killer. Great stuff. Now, the ending is a bit of an issue. In the novel, there's a slightly contrived way to explain who done it, how done it. But the explanation itself is top-notch. In translating this for theatre productions, Agatha Christie felt that the ending was problematic too. Firstly, would audiences like such a dour ending? And secondly, how could she explain the plot to the audience if all the characters are dead? So she revised the ending in a way that would allow for explanations and yet remain faithful to that original ending of the novel. Personally, I much prefer the novel's ending rather than the theatrical cinematic one. But the cleverness of the who done it and how done it remains the same. Even though I know the resolution, I still enjoy this book, getting into the characters, into that remote island. And however you access this story, whether it be novel, theatre or cinema, I'm sure that you're going to enjoy it. Have you enjoyed this story in any format? If so, grateful for any comments you may have. And until next time, may your news be good news and happy times and places. Farewell.